Back on the Patrick Netherton Show right here on 1130 The Tiger. Rogers Hampton, Patrick Netherton, and our special guest coming to us live from Omaha, Nebraska. Side of the College World Series at Rosenblatt, not Rosenblatt, at TD Ameritrade now, I'm assuming. It'd be weird if he was at Rosenblatt since no one's playing there and there's like 6 seats left of it. Is Peter Burns from the SEC Network. Peter, how are you, my friend?
I'm good. I just want to talk nothing about baseball, but all baseball songs now. I think that's what we need to do. Now that I know that you're upset about that, we need to do nothing but the baseball songs.
Dude, here's the thing. If you've been around baseball for any length of time, and Rogers hit me with center field going into the break, okay? And I don't mind that. What he played coming out of the break is okay. But center field, if I hear that 6 quadrillion times during the course of one baseball season, I don't want to hear it anymore. I don't need to hear it anymore. You can play all of the Old Town Road and Uptown Funk and whatever else you want that involves towns. I just don't need center field anymore, Peter.
When did you become the grumpy old man? I didn't know that you were, man.
Oh, come on, man.
It's time of year. It's spring. It's almost summertime.
Dude.
Come on.
Dude.
Enjoy those songs.
You clearly don't know me that well. I am the crotchety old 42-year. I'm the oldest 42-year-old man you know. Trust me. I am a crotchety old man. No, look, it's just repetition is what it is, Peter. I love baseball. I love the spring. I enjoy the College World Series. I just don't need to hear center field more than 3,000 times in the course of a year.
Well, I mean, what's worse, either center field or the Vandy Whistler?
Oh, no.
I mean, I don't know if you know this story about the 2 fans that do nothing but whistle during the game.
Yeah.
And so it's always hard to watch Vanderbilt games because they whistle so much. So, in fact, the NCAA, I believe, stepped in and told them to stop whistling. So at least the games are a little bit more watchable on television now that we don't have the Vandy Whistler going on.
Let me ask you a question, though. I know it's annoying, but are we really to the point where we're policing people making noise with their mouths that aren't, you're not insulting the opponent. You're not. It's not an artificial noisemaker. I mean, the dude's doing it with his own mouth. I mean, are we really? Do we really want to be these people? I kind of have a problem with this, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but you know what? Here's the deal. Also, I think it finally gets into the point, and I'm with you. I know it's a slippery slope about hey, do you next thing can you just ban loud fans?
Yeah.
And I don't know if they're going to get that far down the road, but I think for me, I look at it and go, Vanderbilt is an unbelievable baseball program. Tim Corbin does a great job. The players are fantastic. Yeah, it gets to this time of year, and the whole nation watches Vanderbilt baseball, and they pull. Frankly, I think they pull against them. Like, I think everyone pulls against Vanderbilt baseball, and people are saying, hey, you know what? This is just an unwatchable game. And I always feel bad, and you should know it too because you announce games.
Mm-hmm.
I always feel bad for the announcers because every single time Vanderbilt baseball is on, I hear people saying they're going to mute their television and just watch the game and not listen to the actual guys call the game because the whistling is so annoying. So, again, I don't know if it plays into the karma of anything, but again, I think even Vanderbilt baseball would like for the whistling to stop.
I mean, I don't know. I just at some point, it's not like you're bringing cowbells or air horns or anything. I just think look. I find him annoying too. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm just not sure that our job is to police someone that we find annoying who's doing something within the rules, and it's not an artificial noisemaker or anything. I mean, that's for a different show at a different time. But I just this to me is kind of a scary situation. Is now do you just start banning guys? Like, I have one of my best friends when we go to sporting events, he clapped louder than any human being. It sounded like a gun going off next to me because of how something in his hands, he could clap as loud. I've never heard a louder clap. It literally sent my ears ringing every time I heard it. Are you going to ban him from clapping? Like, where does this end?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think it just depends. As long as that person's sitting next to me, heck yeah, I want them out. Especially if they're not pulling for my team. I'll be the crotchety old man on this part of the conversation and say, get the heck out of the ballpark.
Yeah, no, I get it. I really do. It does distract from the team. I understand that. I don't know. There's a lot to unpack when we're starting to chastise or ban fans from doing things that aren't technically any kind of illegal. They're just cheering on their team. Anyway. That's neither here nor there. Speaking of folks who aren't pulling for your team, you're an SEC network guy, but your particular SEC team is no longer or didn't make it to Omaha. You've already got 2 teams eliminated. Are you full on?
Yeah.
I need Vandy or Mississippi State to win this thing, or are you? Boy, it wouldn't be bad if Florida State and Mike Martin maybe had that Cinderella run.
Yeah, I mean, it is. Listen, I mean, here's the thing. I'm going to pull for any and all things SEC to start off with. And I'm a firm believer that the winner of this Vanderbilt-Mississippi State game wins it all.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just – the way that both of these teams are playing, how deep they are, how good the bats are, I'm a firm believer that, we got Vanderbilt up 1-0 right now. If they hold on to this win, I think they're situated to win it all. And same thing for Mississippi State, because guess what? The loser of this game, because there was a rain delay and it got pushed back a day, the loser of this game would have to win 3 games in 3 days. Basically sweep a series after already playing a little bit here in Omaha to make it to the College World Series final. So, and I don't necessarily see that happening. That's just extremely tough to do. So, yeah, I mean, I definitely pull for both Vandy and Mississippi State. I think for me, even, I probably lean a little bit more towards Mississippi State. Vanderbilt has won a college baseball title. They did it in 2014. For State, think about how close that they came to women's basketball. What was it last year? They had an opportunity to win it, and they thought they beat Notre Dame, and Notre Dame hits the game winner, in overtime. And I know that there are certain programs that baseball means everything to, LSU being one of those things. I think Mississippi State is another one of those things for, baseball, that if they won a title in that sport, it would be that they would go nuts.
How does Kumar Rocker look up close, man?
He looks like a football player.
Yeah,
it's so funny. Between him and Isaiah Campbell, we ran into those guys this week in Omaha, and we're like, these are guys that could play any sport, whatever they chose to do, and they're just unbelievable. And I think with Kumar, I think it was a kind of intriguing story because he was going to be a first-round draft pick. I mean, he is a kid that could have gotten selected out of high school and played rookie ball, and he would have been fine. But I think his mom, if I'm not mistaken, said, no, you're going to Vanderbilt, you're going to learn, you're going to go to college, and I think that speaks volumes for how good the SEC coaching and the fan base is and the quality is, that guys are saying, I'm going to get rid of first-round money, and I'm going to go play at least 2 or 3 years in the SEC. That's unbelievable when it comes down to what this league does and as far as the sport.
Talking to Peter Burns from SEC Network, it actually speaks to a larger trend, and I'm hearing more of the broadcast crews during the College World Series talk about this, in that it seems like teams are drafting fewer high schoolers, and it's becoming more four-year college guys that are the ones that are going. I think they put up a graphic that I think over half of Major League Baseball right now is four-year college guys, or somewhere right around half. So I think you're seeing that as a general trend, that coaching is so good in collegiate baseball right now that guys that maybe are drafted in the 20th round out of high school are foregoing that and saying, I'm going to go ahead and go to college and use that as a way to get myself better and then redrafted higher.
Yeah, and I think where it's made a big shift over the last decade when you see that in the facilities. Like Mississippi State has as good of facilities as heck even some major league ballparks. Right?
I take it over Tropicana Field.
Yeah, no, I mean, seriously, there's no doubt about it. And I think a lot of it has to do with the coaching is solid. And now what the coaches do, Patrick, is that they protect the players. Like they're not going to run players out, especially pitchers. Hey, we're gonna always make sure he's only staying at 75 to 90 pitches. We're not going to run him ragged at 143 pitches because our college team needs to win. Because whether it be Kumar Rocker, Jim Corbin has to make sure he protects those guys so he gets better, recruits down the road. No
doubt. And you're seeing, sore arm. You're seeing, like, you never heard of sore arm before. Like there was never, that wasn't a thing back in the day. Now you're seeing guys getting set down because they have to be careful. Especially, look, if it's a guy that's never going to pitch in past the collegiate level, then yeah, you can run him out there for 120, 130. If he can handle it, because who cares? He's not, he's going into the private sector. But these guys like Rocker and Isaiah Small and Small and Isaiah Campbell and these guys, yeah, you have to be protective of them. And it's good to see that college coaches have gone away from that old school win at all costs mentality to starting to understand that these guys are a commodity that they need to protect for the next level, because that helps them bring in the next Isaiah Campbell and the next Kumar Rocker when they see how those guys are treated.
Yeah, I mean, think about the negative recruiting that happens in college football. You know, oh, hey, listen, this coach played this player when he was injured and kind of ruined his career. Trust me, that would happen, not so much in baseball because it's not as cutthroat in the recruiting, but, you know, a family might say, you know what, I don't know if I'm going to send my kid to X school because I saw they continue to have, you know, issues. And I think that's also why it's important that the training staff are really looked into. I mean, you know, for here in the SEC, they really want to make sure that, hey, the training facilities, the rehab facilities are great as well, too, that if somebody gets injured, he can get you back on the road to recovery. So, again, it's the reason why there was 4 of the 8 teams in the SEC, but right now, like I said, with Arkansas and Auburn already being pushed out, and the loser of this game really up against the wall, it's the SEC's best hope is the winner of this Vandy Mississippi State game.
Peter, did I hear that Drover's burned down?
So Drover, I guess whenever so Drover, for those who don't know, is like the iconic steakhouse.
Right.
Like, it is like out of like
it has the whiskey steak.
1970s restaurant. Yeah, and they were doing some renovations. I think there was a small fire, and yes, there will be no Drover steaks this year, which has seriously, there was like crying in the press box when people found that out over here. That's how big of a bucket list thing it is here.
Yeah, and the press is going to be the first people that cry about it because, as we all know, the media is all about the food.
That's all we are.
Yeah.
Right? Like you and I, we're not going to miss any meals.
No.
Come on, you know that.
No. Are you kidding me? That's why all the pictures I post from the road are of food. I don't ballpark. Who cares about the ballpark? I just want to eat. Speaking,
it is. I will say this though. For those of you who get a chance, if you're looking for a bucket list item, do it. The Omaha is great. The food, the restaurants here are great. Watching baseball, seeing the fans, they all get along together, but they're all, all kind of playfully talking trash to each other. It is one of the ultimate kind of just sporting events that you have to attend, even if you're not a diehard college baseball fan.
No, it's definitely on the bucket list for me at some point. I want to do the show from up there at some point, so we'll see if I can make that happen. Okay, before I let you go, we got to talk about golf. Namely that you're living my best life. You're working for the SEC network and you're playing golf across the pond. Tell me about the golfing trip to, were you in Scotland, Ireland? I can't tell them apart. Where were you at?
We went, so anytime you look at pictures and you can't figure out, just go, is it really green? If it's really green, then it's in Ireland. If it's really brown, then it's in Scotland.
There you go.
Yeah, no, I had an opportunity to go out to Ireland with my pops. And again, another bucket list thing that, back-to-back weeks, I've had some pretty blessed opportunities to go out there. And it's awesome, man. Just, among the elements, you walk, there's no golf carts. You just sit there, and it's kind of like the way golf is supposed to be played. So it is very humbling, though. You go out there, and you think that, oh, yeah, I'm playing pretty good right now. Then all of a sudden, 35-mile-an-hour winds, and it's 50 degrees and raining, and it'll make you feel a whole lot different real quick. So, it's a pretty good deal to get out there. I will say, though, the food here in Omaha, much better than the food out in Ireland.
Yeah. Look, I visited Australia one time. And when I was a kid, and the best meal I had in Australia was at KFC. I'm not. It's not even close, to be honest with you. And I had kangaroo, and we had some different stuff.
We're Louisiana guys. So anytime that we get food and we got to go anywhere else, it's not nearly going to be as good as it is at home.
No doubt about it. By the way, I'm curious. Do you have do you feel like you know who's going to win the Vandy Mississippi State game, or are you just kind of hanging back and enjoying it like the rest of us?
Honestly, hanging back because I think both of these teams are that good. I mean, Rocker looks like he's got his stuff. Vandy's had a couple opportunities to put some more guys on base. So Vandy is definitely in control right now, and I was curious to see how Rocker was going to look after throwing the no-no last time out. First individual no-hitter that a Vandy player has thrown since 1971. He's fantastic. So I think right now it's all Vandy, and that puts them in the driver's seat for this tournament.
Yeah, and the amazing thing is he's their number 2 guy. That's when you know you're good.
And then they have 3 other guys that can get it done as well.
Yeah, that's when you know you're good. When the guy who throws a 19 strikeout no hitter in the Super Regional for the first time ever is your number 2. Yeah, you know you got an embarrassment of riches going on there. That's for sure. Well, look, Peter, I expect you to take the place of the Vandy Whistler. You need to go out there and create some noise, make something happen. I don't want a nice quiet broadcast. I sure as heck don't want to just be listening to Tom Hart the entire time. So go out there and make some noise so I don't have to deal with that.
I'll go start heckling him right now.
Please.
Until him from you.
Please do. Please and tell him I told you to. That I would really appreciate that.
You got it, bud.
Peter, you're the best, man. Have fun out there.
Later, Patrick.
All right, see you. It's Peter Burns, SEC Network. Good dude.